Hi everyone. Welcome back to English Fab, where learning English is practical, useful, and fab. Today we're going to dive into a topic that's essential in both everyday conversations and weight and density. Many learners find it difficult to talk about how heavy, light, or dense things are, especially when it comes to food and materials. But don't worry, we're here to help. In this lesson, we'll cover a natural conversation, key phrases, useful vocabulary, and practical tips to help you describe weight and density with ease. Whether you're talking about ingredients in a recipe or describing the texture of an object, by the end of this video, you'll feel confident using these terms in any situation. If you find English difficult, don't worry. You can translate the subtitles into English and your own language like this. Check the description below for extra details. Are you ready? Let's get started. So we're making a cheesecake tonight. I think we should go for a really rich, dense one. What do you think?
Oh, I love a dense cheesecake. But if we add too much cream cheese, it might end up too heavy. Maybe we should balance it with some lighter ingredients.
That's a good point. Maybe we could add some whipped cream to lighten it up. It's fluffy and airy, so it won't weigh it down too much.
Right. A fluffy texture would help balance the solid, dense nature of the cream cheese. But we should keep the crust solid too. It needs to be thick enough to hold up the filling.
Absolutely. We don't want the crust to be too thin. It needs to be compact and sturdy. Otherwise, it'll crumble when we cut the slices.
Agreed. The filling can be dense, but the crust needs to have some body. We could also try using a mix of butter and sugar to make it a little thicker.
I'm thinking we should add a few more eggs to give it more structure. Eggs make the filling solid without being too heavy. We don't want it to be too airy though, so the texture is perfect.
Definitely. We don't want it to be too light and fluffy, or it won't have the right texture. A good balance is key. Maybe a little bit of flour to give it just the right thickness?
Sounds good. And we could use some vanilla extract to enhance the flavor without making it too overpowering. We don't need anything too dense or thick in flavor.
I think we're almost there. The key is to make sure everything complements each other, dense filling with a thick, compact crust, and a slight fluffiness to keep it light.
I agree. It's all about balance. I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Me too. Let's get started and make the perfect cheesecake with just the right weight and texture.
And that's a wrap for today's lesson on this topic. We've learned how to talk about weight and density in everyday conversations, and how to use the right phrases when describing materials and food. Let's quickly review what we covered today. What we talked about. First, we discussed how to describe different textures and how the weight or density of an object affects its use. Next, we looked at the differences between light, heavy, dense, and fluffy materials and how to use them in cooking. Finally, we explored how to apply these terms in real-life situations, making your descriptions clear and accurate. Key phrases. We should go for a really rich, dense cheesecake. Maybe we should balance it with some lighter ingredients. Whipped cream will lighten it up. It's fluffy and airy. We should keep the crust solid and thick enough to hold up the filling. The filling can be dense, but the crust needs to be compact and sturdy. We don't want it to be too airy though, so the texture is perfect. We should use a mix of butter and sugar to make it a little thicker. Learning these phrases will help you talk confidently about materials and textures in various contexts. Whether you're cooking, designing, or just having a casual conversation, understanding these terms will allow you to express yourself more clearly and effectively. So go ahead and try using these phrases in your everyday conversations. The more you practice, the easier it will get. Okay, thanks for watching today's lesson on English Fab. I hope you found these English tips useful and feel more confident. Remember, practice makes perfect, so try using these phrases in your daily conversations. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more Fab English lessons. Until next time, keep practicing and stay fab.